back to Nerd Rock Podcast, episode 17, and this Valentine special, where we're gonna talk about the 1981 slasher classic, My Bloody Valentine. But before we do that, let's welcome the crew. Angel, how are you doing?
I'm good, considering my lack of sleep. How are you doing, Ogge?
I'm doing just fine, thank you. What about you, Zombie?
Yeah, it could have been worse, it could have been better, but all over decency, or decent shit. What about you, Josef?
I'm good. What have you guys been up to today?
Not a whole lot, to be honest.
Just chilling.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Angel?
I cut Pepsi's claws finally, and then I've just been hanging around on Twitch with some friends.
Okay.
Not a lot going on.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Zombie?
I've been studying Russian and watching Twitch pretty much the whole day.
Okay, you're gonna be a comrade pretty soon, though.
Yes, for Mother Russia.
I mean, we're pretty much
vodka.
we're pretty much talking to the next Putin here.
That's Richard.
Okay.
You're sure it's actual Russian, not just the accent you're studying?
Yeah,
Okay, I just want to make sure.
I'm gonna be an expert at the Russian accent pretty soon.
Yeah. The movie Russian.
Gonna be a
Okay.
perfect movie villain.
Okay. It's been only a week since we last recorded, but have anyone seen anything of note? Angel?
Stroke. I've been catching up on the adult TV series Big Mouth on Netflix. Otherwise, I haven't watched anything besides the regular shit.
What's big?
It's pretty much an adult version of how puberty feels to go through as a teen. And I say that it reflects it, even if it's in a silly way, pretty decent. It takes up a lot of tough shit for teenagers to go through.
Okay.
But it's pretty much just like it's. I would say it's kind of like pointed more to adults, because of the jokes and the. Yeah.
Is it comedy or?
This is like probably like, yeah. It's like Family Guy and American Dad and stuff like that, but more sick jokes, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, like Family Guy, and that's tame. And if you're gonna look, if you're gonna compare them, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, my brain's
Okay.
work. Yeah.
All right.
I think you might actually enjoy it.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'll give it a watch if I got time
Yeah.
for it. Zombie, have you catched up on anything?
Nah,
Nothing?
sadly not.
Okay.
I've been doing jack shit.
Well, sometimes life comes between, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my man, what have you been watching?
Wait for a minute.
Okay.
My neighbor is playing music. I can see,
Oh.
I can see like the sound file go doop, 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 doop. Okay, I think we're good. Well, I haven't watched a whole lot. I watched some of the Punisher TV show.
Yeah, the Netflix
Yeah,
produced the series.
yeah. It's not very good, to be honest.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've heard differing opinions on that show. Some really love it, and some just hate it.
Yeah, well, pretty much the entire first season is boring. Like, nothing happens, and there is no Punisher in it until, like, the last 4 episodes. And then the first episodes of season 2 is pretty good, but then they start talk about their feelings all the time. That's pretty much it.
Jesus Christ, that doesn't sound like Punisher.
No.
So like most part of the first season is just a build up, and then he comes, and then it's just like a drama.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, fun.
The first season, is it like an origin story again, or?
Not even that. Like, his family has just died, and so on, so he's really sad. And then eventually at the end, he gets into trouble and starts killing people, pretty much.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much a origin story.
Yeah, well, yeah. And
Okay.
yeah, season 2 is pretty much more of the same. It starts out pretty good, but then everybody gets sad, and we should feel sorry for them because they're so sad.
That's not the Punisher.
No.
Jesus Christ! But I've heard that the series got a lot of violence in it.
Yeah, I mean, when it's good, it's really good, and it's really violent. But there's like the first 3 or 4 episodes of season 2 is pretty good, and then you can pretty much skip 5 episodes altogether.
Wow.
Like, it starts with a really good story and a cool villain and everything, but then it's like they just abandon it. And
Why?
I don't know. They're
Ogge didn't make it.
yeah.
Well,
Well, they have a side story they started in season 1, so they shift focus on that to like the side story, and then they start building that up. But there's just way too much build up, way more than necessary.
okay. The comic books about the Punisher is really simple. It's just a guy who walks around and kills bad guys. That's
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much it.
Yeah,
So I don't really understand how the hell they can fuck that up. To be
yeah.
honest. It's
Like, the story is more about like an ex-soldier who doesn't really have PTSD, but he kinda feels bad from the war.
okay.
It's more of a story like that,
Yeah.
with some action scenes.
So you're saying that you should go back and watch Punisher Warzone again instead of the series, though.
Yeah, if you're a Punisher fan, don't watch the show. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
If you want
But
more of a drama, you could watch it, I guess.
well, I got the series lined up. I'm gonna watch it pretty soon, so I'll get back to it
Okay.
at some point.
Looking forward to it.
Have you watched anything else on note?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I've been trying to finish that season. I have a few episodes left, but I don't know if I'm gonna watch them. We'll see.
Okay. Since we recorded last week and I haven't really catched up on anything besides season 2 of Slasher Guilty Party. And I'm halfway through that season, and boy, the second season of Slasher makes up the first season of it.
Yeah.
The kills are just fucking brutal, and there's a lot of gore, there's a lot of suspense. All of the characters are basically assholes, but you know, the thing that makes that up is that you just want to see them getting their comeuppance, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that makes the second season.
Yeah.
And, I'm really enjoying it so far, and I haven't fingered the killer yet. I got a theory who it is, but I'll get back to it on the next episode. I'm gonna finish up the second season before the next episode.
How are the red herrings in the series?
Well, basically all of them are red herrings in the second
Fair
season
enough.
because everyone got, like, you know, a dark secret, so it could be anyone, basically.
Everyone has a reason to be.
Yeah. But yeah, I really enjoy it, and I'm gonna finish it up until we record the next episode. And I will give my final thoughts about it then.
Yeah. Season 2 is really good, and it has a very good slasher setting.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And you know, the second season isn't, you know, quote unquote fun, but it got all of the tropes, and it's really good. It's not that detective bullshit that they made the first season with.
Yeah. I remember there's so many backstories to this season that it kind of changes your perspective.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
So, and it's like you think you know, but you never really know.
Yeah, and that's because everyone has a reason to be the killer, or have they?
Yeah, exactly.
So, but yeah, I'll come back to it next episode. So, are you guys ready to roll the trailer?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So here is the trailer for My Bloody Valentine.
It's a bad time, this time of year.
How many times is he gonna tell this story?
Oh, let him tell it. I love fairy tales.
This ain't no fairy tale, little girl. If you don't take it seriously, you're a fool!
The first Valentine's dance in 20 years has to be something special.
Look, Landers, you gotta get a lot of exercise if you're gonna grapple with Gretchen. Oh, yeah? Well, I got a Valentine for her that she's never gonna forget. Right to the heart, huh?
In this town on Valentine's Day, everybody loses their heart.
Roses are red, violets are blue. One is dead, and so are you.
It can't be happening again.
No!
It can't be happening again.
What's going on over in Valentine Bluffs? It looks like Harry Warden's back in town.
It happened once. It happened twice. Cancel the dance or it'll happen twice. Take your pick. My Bloody Valentine.
On Valentine's Day 20 years before, an explosion of methane gas trapped a group of coal miners working in the Hanniger mine near the small Nova Scotia town of Valentine Bluffs. The accident occurred because the supervisors left their posts to attend the annual Valentine's Day dance. A year later, Harry Warden, the only survivor of the accident, retaliated by killing the two supervisors and leaving a terrifying warning never to hold another Valentine's Day dance. Now, a group of young adults decides to hold another dance, but as the party begins, so does the killings, and it seems like Harry Warden has returned to punish those who did not heed his warning. Okay, since I'm leading this episode, I'm gonna put Zombie on the spot because I think this was a first time watch for you, right?
Yeah,
So what did you think about it?
it was a very good movie in terms of like the killings. I enjoyed watching those. Shit, you put me on a spot here. Shit. It had a plot, which was very nice to see, to be able and follow and get like somewhat engaged in the characters, even though I barely understood what they say because my hearing is shit. But it was a very good movie. I liked the setting they were in, like the mines and all that. It was. I am unsure what I thought about the ending, but we'll get into that later, mayhaps.
Yeah.
It was definitely worth the watch. So, yeah. I don't really have too much like to complain about the movie either, which is pretty nice. So, how I would rate it though, like 7 out of 10 hearts.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good rating.
Yeah. So, who goes next?
Ogge, what did you think about it?
I liked it too. It was a lot more fun than your average slasher movie. Like it was a good plot, and it was a lot more fun to watch than like normal slasher movies. But it wasn't as suspenseful as some of them, though. I really like the killer, like with a gas mask and a pickaxe.
Yeah, the miner.
Yeah, it was a really cool look for the killer.
Yeah, I agree on that one.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it kinda makes me wonder a bit why this movie isn't really iconic.
Well, it is iconic.
Really?
Yeah, it is. It's one of the most well-known slasher movies that there is.
Huh.
Well, shit.
Okay.
The more you
Agree
know.
to disagree, since it's not like up there with Halloween, Freddy, Jason, all the big boys.
I'll come back to that a bit later, but yeah.
Maybe it's more well known in the community of slashers, if you put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, Ogge, continue, Ogge.
Yeah, it had some very good kills, and I liked like the big reveal at the end. I really liked how they did that. Like
Yeah, it was. It's fast and to the point. It cuts the bullshit, and it doesn't really need, an hour to explain everything. It's just.
yeah, yeah, it's very quick and clean.
Yeah, it's like 30 seconds, and then it's over.
Yeah. I really like that about this movie. I would probably rate it maybe an 8 of 10 pickaxes.
Okay. Angel?
Well, I've seen this movie, I believe, 2 times before, or if it was this one and the remake. But I didn't see the killer coming. They did a very good red herring, surprisingly enough. I like.
Just a question. Which character did you think was the killer?
Chest hair dude, TJ or whatever he's called.
Chest hair dude.
Yeah, you know me and Zombie, like we come up with nicknames like Edgelord and whatever.
His name was TJ.
Yeah, I thought he was the killer through most of the movie, and I'm like, that's a really good red herring when you come to the end. I like the end. It's clean. It's good. It's slightly funny. I didn't see it coming at all. Good acting. Very good acting. Very good effects. Creative kills. And I got the Halloween feeling. And since I like the Halloween movies, it just made the movie better. As Ogge said, how he looked while killing people was a very nice touch. Yeah, I will rate it a 7.5 heart, actually. So it's high up on the list. It's something I would recommend watching. It's something I will be watching again at some point. Yeah, it's a good movie.
Okay. Well, that was nice to hear. Okay. My thoughts about it. This is probably one of my favorite slasher movies, and it's also up there with my favorite movies, overall, all categories. I think the acting is at times a bit cheesy, but it's overall decent. I like most of the characters, even though I would have preferred seeing Patty as the final girl instead of Sarah. I don't know. I never liked the Sarah character for some reason. I think she's somewhat of a drama queen.
Well, I would say she's a bit of a pushover too.
Yeah, she isn't a really good final girl, to be honest.
No, she's not. She's not a strong. She's not a strong woman.
No.
She is very easy to push around, and the whole thing with she stands between 2 guys the whole movie, and she can't choose. Like, get your fucking shit together and choose one. Stop being the whole movie. She's a worthless fucking finer girl. I didn't care for her for shit.
You either choose one of them or choose no one. Like,
honestly, the one I would have wanted to see as the final girl is the mustache dude. Okay, go on with your opinion.
That's a very good pick, though.
Yeah.
I just need it.
And like you guys already said, I just love the minor outfit for the killer, and I think it's one of the best disguises for any mad slasher. And I think the movie got all of the things a great slasher needs. Great kills, fun characters. It got some suspense, an interesting killer, and a great killer reveal / twist. And the final chase scene is pretty good, even though I think the fight between TJ and the killer at the end is a bit hokey. You know, it's not really a Jackie Chan choreographed fight. Really, the only downside with the movie for me personally is that I've seen it so many times that I think it's lost some of its power and suspense. But that's on me, and it's not really the movie's fault, you know.
No, it's the movie's fault that it's a good movie, so you have watched it to the point where pretty much if it was a VHS it would break.
Yeah, basically. And funny side note, I actually got the Swedish VHS release of this movie. But if I'm gonna rate it, I gotta put it up there with Friday the 13th, Halloween, and The Nightmare on Elm Street, and those heavy hitters, and I'll give it a 10 out of 10, without a doubt. Okay, do you guys have any scenes you want to discuss?
Well, I had to make a really silly comment. When the miners come out of the mine on the little train thing, you know, like, choo-choo! Like, choo-choo, motherfuckers.
I like the kill with the old guy when, he made sort of a trap, so when they open the door, that big pickaxe comes to scare whoever's open it.
Yeah, he kind of made a dummy.
Yeah, he's so proud of it. That's like... That's the finest moment of his life right there.
Yeah, that was his life goal. Piss-ass fucking drunk. Making a dummy to scare some kids. It's like, this is my life goal.
Yeah. He's like, I can die, I have now.
Surprise, surprise. Like 30 seconds later, an axe for the head. It's like, aww.
He's very amused.
Yeah.
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 The only scene I can comment on is in the beginning when you see the first heart box with the heart in it, with the guy in the car.
Yeah, that's the mayor, I believe.
The sheriff.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he just opens it, it's like he's not scared. He looks and sounds like, well, there goes my holiday. It's just such an inconvenience. Oh, damn. No real shock, nothing being scared or anything, just, oh well, shit.
It's like, man,
Yeah, this to worry
not
about.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, well...
Sure, you've seen it 20 years earlier, but it's such a meh reaction.
It's pretty much like he's just gone around waiting on this moment to happen.
Yeah.
basically.
Anyone else got any scenes they want to mention?
Right after that scene when they turned the car around and a dog came out, I was sure they were gonna run that dog over.
Yeah, I was pretty sure that would happen too.
That dog, by the way, Angel, that's your favorite character, right?
No, actually, not in this one.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, I liked the dog. It had good acting, but no. It didn't make it this time. It had too short of screen time. No, actually, my favorite characters this time is the bartender. So, the way he tells the story and how he's trying to scare the kids. I liked his character. I really liked the cop. I don't know what it is, but it's just like I really just liked him. He was like he's like that cool uncle you want in your life. He's like I don't know, it's something like that. And I kind of like the mayor, because like because of the scene, like somebody said, he's just stone cold. And he's like, man, and stuff like that. Like, yeah, it's like he's like, oh,
I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like those are my three actual favorite characters. I didn't favorize the dog this.
That was a pretty big surprise. Zombie, do you have any favorite characters?
I have to agree with the bartender because I really like his storytelling and such, and I don't remember his name, but the guy with the mustache.
Hollis.
Yeah, Hollis. I really liked him too because he was a no bullshit dude. When the two guys were starting to beef, he was like, nah, fam. I'ma just separate you two like the good mother I am. Trademark.
Mother.
He's not a dad with that mustache, he's a mother.
Ogge.
I don't know. Mayor, probably.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Actually, no. The killer, because he looked so awesome.
I'd agree on that as well.
Yeah, of
My
course.
favorite characters are the killer and the bartender, without a doubt.
Well, the bartender seemed like a pretty popular guy.
Yeah.
Well, he's serving booze, so fucking course he's popular. I don't think anyone would hang around him if he didn't serve fucking booze. I mean, just look at him. He looks fucking creepy. So I mean, like, would you hang around with that guy?
He's too old for me.
Okay.
Right.
Alright. Okay, I got a couple of scenes I want to discuss here. You guys have already mentioned the flashback scenes when Happy, the bartender, he's called Happy, talks about Harry Warden and what happened 20 years prior to the events of the movie. I think that part of the movie is really, really good. It's, it builds up this urban legend about this madman who committed these horrible crimes 20 years ago, and
I mean, they give him a very, very plain and easy, understandable backstory.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're stuck alone without water or food for, I believe they say 6 weeks.
Yeah, I think they said something like that, yeah.
Yeah, you can't, first of all, you can't survive without food for, I believe what it is, I think 2 weeks or something. And you can't survive without water for even less time. So, I mean, he does he does the only thing to survive. Yeah. And, I mean, anyone would probably get an emotional and psychological trauma for, first of all, being alone by yourself for 6 weeks. And then have to go so far to eat humans to survive. Yeah. I mean, anyone would go bonkers.
Yeah,
it's a pretty horrific backstory to Harry Warden, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you think about it.
Honestly, I think he has one of the worst backstories. I mean, it's a good backstory, but one of the most understandable and, like, terrifying backstories.
Yeah.
If we're gonna look at, like, Jason drowned. Michael is just evil. Bubba is fucking Bubba. Leatherface is fucking incest. Yeah, blame Dead by Daylight. And, okay, well, Freddy's an implied pedophile who gets burned. Okay, that's pretty bad. But I mean, still, this Michael weighs up for it. Way more.
Yeah. Also, it does pretty much to a human to be alone in the dark. Like, isolated with no light at all.
Yeah.
And I think, like, something with eating human flesh does things to you. Like, not the fact that you're eating human flesh, but, like, human flesh itself, like, consuming it, does bad stuff to you.
Yeah, it might be, like, toxins and shit in the flesh itself.
Yeah, he ate that meat raw as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you.
I never thought about that.
But for me, I honest to goodness thought that it was gonna be like a Myers kind of killer that like escaped the mental hospital and came back to kill. And it never really pointed to me like that any of the characters were the murderer.
Oh.
Yeah,
So,
you were happily unknowing.
Yeah, I was in denial.
Yeah, it's
so you got a pretty big surprise at the reveal then.
Yeah.
I thought so too, actually.
Oh.
Okay, so you two actually thought that it was Michael that had stroke.
You mean Harry?
Yeah, Harry.
No, I thought it was
I
Michael
wanted to
Myers.
be named Michael. That was Harry escaping the psych ward.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Mm.
They did that. They builded up like the Harry character pretty much. So like there is like the possibility if you think like so. So yeah, because he sounded like a very interesting killer. So like you wanted it to be him, kinda.
I actually think that the ending twist is really, really good because throughout the entire movie you are supposed to think that Harry is back.
It was a very good twist.
Yeah.
Well, everyone knows me by now. I pick apart a movie very fast, and I pretty much knew that it couldn't be him because oh god, is it the mayor or is it the police? One of them are calling the psych ward, asking about Harry, and they're like, "Well, we don't have papers on this guy. We don't have anyone by that name here." So I'm like, okay, that secludes that guy. Like, okay, then it's probably someone else. Like, I don't remember anything from watching it the first time, or if I watched it the second time. But for me, it was obvious it was someone of, like the main group, if we're gonna say it like that. Like the main teens, young adults.
Speaking of that, by the way, did anyone else think that the characters were basically in their mid-20s, early 30s?
No. They looked like they were 30s.
Yeah.
35.
Well, the mayor and the sheriff calls them kids, and I was thinking like, kids. They're in the 30s. They're not kids.
They some old ass kids.
Yeah.
Oh, Josef, so you're a kid then, huh?
Yeah, according to this movie, I am.
Well, fuck, some was a wee.
Infants.
Oh man.
Well, according to old people, like anyone that's like more than 20 years younger than them are basically kids.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. No, I didn't really see that. Like, I thought it were like in the early 20s, like 21, 22, 23 maybe. And that some of them were in the like upper 20s.
Yeah.
But they don't want to like make it seem like they're in high school or anything or college.
No, they're hardworking people, you know.
Yeah, but back in the day, you had to go to... Well, most people had to go to the mine when they were in their 17, 18, 19 already.
I can't actually remember what I thought about the killer the first time I watched this movie. I watched it, I think, like 16 years ago for the first time, and I watched the R-rated version of it back then, without all of the gory kills. This movie is pretty notorious because of the insane amount of cuts it got when it was gonna be released back in 1981. The MPAA in the States basically wanted to cut out all of the violence. They basically butchered the entire movie. So, but I can't remember what I thought the first time I saw it. I think I was a bit surprised about the reveal at the end of the movie. I think I was on the same line as Zombie and Ogge.
Well,
Like-
sounds yeah.
I was just gonna say, like, Angel, you were the only one that was able to draw the conclusion, like, Harry's out of the picture. You were the only one that used logic while watching.
When you watch 600 movies, you start to see patterns.
Fair enough.
And now I'm not talking about 600 movies over your lifespan. Now I'm talking 600 movies during 6 months. It's not fun. I don't recommend doing that. It has ruined my... it ruins watching movies for you. Okay, this
It becomes a chore more than entertainment.
Yeah, exactly. It's just... But you can still feel enjoyment in some movies if you actually put your brain on, like, what's it called? Pilot mode, and just like enjoy.
I watched almost 1,000 movies in 1 year about 11 years ago, I think, and it just became a chore to sit through each movie.
That has to be like...
watch
It sucked the entertainment out of it, basically.
Mm-hmm.
That has to be
you
like
watch
3 or
almost
4
like-
movies a day.
Yeah.
What did you say, Ogge?
That's like 3 or 4 movies a day, right?
Dude, I watched like 6 or 7 movies a day.
Yeah, I was about to say you watch like 8 movies a day or something.
Yeah, sometimes I didn't watch that many movies each day, but I usually watched at least 3 movies a day.
Yeah, you pretty much woke up, sat at the computer, watched a movie, made a review, watched a movie, made a review. It's very tedious after a while.
Yeah.
Anyways, did you have any more scenes, or can we? Can we get to the ending? I want to talk about the ending.
I got one last scene
Yeah.
I want to discuss briefly. The scene when Mabel receives the chocolate box with the rhyme.
Oh yeah.
That's one of the best scenes in the entire movie. And the rhyme goes, "Roses are red, violets are blue, one is dead, and so are you."
I thought it was a very clever poem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just love that scene. It's one of my favorites in this movie.
It was great.
Yeah. I just wanted to mention, like, I really like how they tied it to Valentine. That they didn't just because
they didn't just put the plot around Valentine. Everything is Valentine in this movie.
Because, like, it's very easy to do it around Halloween, but you have to do it differently around other holidays, and they did it very well with Valentine in this. I just want to mention that.
I mean, is the town called Valentine even?
Yeah,
Valentine Bluff, right?
Valentine Bluffs.
Yeah.
With mass.
It's like, yeah, this town really like Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, what did you think about that scene?
I liked it. I don't have too much to say about that scene, unfortunately.
I'm not a few words.
Yeah.
Yes, here being a filler, really. Actually, I have a comment about that scene. How couldn't she hear him breathe? Because, I mean, laundry machines aren't that loud, first of all. Unless they're standing wrong, so they can, like, try to jump out the door. Then they're loud. Yeah. And, I mean, he kind of breathes like fucking Darth Vader.
Well, you have to allow some disbelief when it comes to movies like this.
Yeah.
Maybe he held his breath. You know.
He took off his...
Yeah.
Exactly. Actually, yeah.
He actually has very bad lungs because he held his breath for 2 minutes. He had to breathe like that for the rest of the movie.
He's a chain smoker as well.
Yeah.
Actually, I think about that scene. I really liked her death. She gets tucked into a fucking laundry machine, or I think it's the laundry dryer.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, so she's like pretty much burned. Ow.
I actually went back and checked out the R-rated version of the movie, and they basically destroyed that whole scene. You get like, I think 1 or 2 seconds of the corpse when it falls out, and then it's just over. You get a shot of the sheriff, and then it's over.
I mean, since we watched the uncut version, it is a pretty gruesome corpse that comes out.
Yeah, but most of the kills are... most of the kills in this movie are violent and mean-spirited. And, very gory and...
I would say a lot of them are very creative if you're gonna look to like other movies where, you get a little bit stabbed in the chest, ooh, you get your throat cut, ooh, you get your head chopped off, ooh.
I think Horace's death was the cleanest of all of them.
Yeah.
With
mustache guy.
The nail.
Oh, Horace, yeah. With what's it called?
Nailed it.
Yeah,
nail gun.
Nails to the head.
Yeah.
It's
that entire sequence basically is gone in the R-rated version. You don't get to see anything, but when he shoots the nails into his head.
Oh.
I think that could be the most boring kill in the movie. Since it's not violent. Not that violent, at least.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I just also wanted to mention, like, while they are down in the mines, I really like how the killer moves around. Like, they show you that when one character runs away, how he takes, like, a different route. So that
Yeah,
it,
that
it
ups the suspense of the movie as well.
yeah,
Because you don't know where he is.
yeah, like, you also expect him to know more about the mine with his attire as such, and also that he takes shortcuts and go different routes, so you never know where he is, or that he can pop up anywhere, and they explain why he's able to do it, which I like it that way, that he just doesn't simply pop out
Yeah,
everywhere.
he doesn't just teleport.
Yeah, he simply knows where to go.
Yeah,
Which is
it's like with Jason in the at least in the first no the first three sequels in the
Yeah.
Friday series.
because like that's something that like scares me, that you're stuck in an unknown place that you either don't know at all or don't know that well, whilst the killer can it like the back of his hand.
Yeah,
Like that's when you know you're screwed.
Yeah, and the
Yeah,
thing
you're
is,
an easy
like,
prey.
you never know who he's going for. Like, is he going for that guy or that chick or those two? Like, when the girls get left alone, you don't know if he's going for them or if he's going for the guy who's going a different way. And things like that. It's great.
Yeah, I think that they did that very well in the movie. So, are we done with the various different scenes?
I just like that something about the dryer scene.
Yeah.
That actually reminded me of a scene from The Mask. I think it's The Mask. Like Ipke is like he has like a neighbor who's like angry, and in the middle of that, which is a kids movie, she just walks up to him and says like, "I want to give your dog a slow and painful death by sticking him in the clothing dryer." Or something like that.
It's a kids movie.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so dark.
Yeah.
I haven't watched The Mask for 20 years or something.
I rewatched it a few years ago, but I don't remember anything of it.
I haven't watched in so long.
Yeah.
The only scene we have left is the actual end scene that we've been saving, I guess.
Yeah. Who's want to go first?
I just wanted to mention, like, before he got revealed as the killer, I just really was disappointed with the way he went. Like, I honestly, like, when he almost, like, quote unquote, died or drowned, it was just like, that's so anticlimactic. I'm so disappointed. Now I'm sad. Why? Because it's such a bad death scene compared to all of the other scenes we've seen before. And then when he gets revealed, I was like, oh, thank God. That wasn't a sucky death.
It was just a very bad cover.
Yeah.
But before we spoil who the killer is, spoiler warning. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, if you haven't watched the movie, go watch it. Look who the killer is themselves, or yourself, and then come back and listen to us.
Yeah.
Ogge, go. Let's do you, and then I go, and then Joseph.
Yes.
I thought it was a bit anticlimactic too. It was a bit. It kind of surprised me that the movie was over. I wanted some kind of conclusion, but it's pretty clear they want to make sequels right away, so
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true.
I'm pretty sure the whole point was to set up a sequel, so
Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
but we never got one, sadly.
Yeah.
I was just about to ask if they actually made a second one.
No, they never did. I think the movie actually bombed at the box office, so they never made another one.
I guess it really just got popular later after it was released.
Yeah, after the big rush with parents saying that horror movies makes our children evil and whatnot.
What do you think about the ending?
I actually didn't see that the anticlimactic thing with that he quote unquote drowned. I totally missed that part. But I didn't like the end fight. It was kinda meh. Besides that, when you get to see who the killer is, and that part I really liked. And the absolute end with what he says, we had to rewatch that 2 times to actually get what he says. Because it was so quiet. So I actually had to turn up the sound. But yeah, I really liked it. I honestly don't think that they needed to do any more with it, because the end was great as it is. I mean, what it says is kind of when you get to see why he does what he does, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Like he's in a very, very big trauma. And the trauma just gets bigger since he's like, what, 3 when it happens? Like 3 or 4. And like the end words he says, the guy was called Henry, right?
Harry.
Harry got his revenge. Blah, 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 blah. We're gonna blah, 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 something. It's kind of like he is, what's it called? I don't think it's schizophrenic, actually. But it's like he has more than one personality. Since he says we.
Yeah, I think he got, what's it called, PTSD?
Yeah, probably.
Probably, yeah.
And then
and
when
he says, Daddy's gone away, Harry Warden made you pay.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's what I meant. I really like that part, actually. And I mean, it probably got triggered because of that they're having the party and he is already suffering from problems. And then the whole thing with, oh, Harry is gonna come and kill us if we have a party and whatnot. And it just like triggers the PTSD all over again, and yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Something we haven't mentioned yet is who the killer is, and I'm gonna reveal it. And the killer turns out to be Axel, one of the minor, quote unquote, kids in the friends group, who's rivaling with TJ about Sarah. And
he's a bit of a douchebag.
Yeah, but at the same time, TJ is an asshole as well, because he went away and then he comes back and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna take back Sarah.
Yeah, it's kind of like
when she's clearly in a new relationship.
Yeah, it's kind of like, oh, I'm just gonna come back. I'm gonna pick up where I left, and nothing is gonna change.
Yeah, exactly.
So, well, both are kind of douchebags.
Yeah. But actually, he's a bigger asshole since he's, murdering his friends. But but anyway, my thoughts about the ending. I think that the quote unquote death scene of Axel when he throws his helmet into the water and runs away and probably picks up his disguise. I think that's a pretty good scene to set up the final chase scene and the final fight between him and TJ. And like I said earlier in the episode, I think that the fight between them are pretty hokey at times. Like it doesn't look natural when they are fighting, you know.
It's like, oh no, I don't want to hurt you. It's like, come on.
Yeah. Like they're taking cautious swings at each other or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like the real ending when you get to know that Harry has been dead for 5 years and the killer is revealed to be Axel, and why he has done the things he has done, and he's cutting off his arm. I really like that part as well, and I would have liked to see a sequel, but at the same time the movie stands on its own legs pretty well, I'd say.
Since we don't have a sequel, I kind of dislike the ending because of it, because it's kind of made for a sequel.
They should have made it more like conclusive rather than very obviously open for a sequel.
Yeah.
They should have done it tad bit differently, just so they had to maybe work around how they could make a sequel rather than making it obviously open for a sequel.
Yeah. But I'm guessing, I think they thought they were gonna make a sequel, but somebody said no.
Yeah. They were so confident.
Yeah. Somebody probably changed his mind.
Yeah. I think that maybe was because of all the censoring that they had to go through.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something that I'm thinking about is, now this movie is almost 40 years old. Back in the day, that kind of ending might not have been so obvious to people that it's gonna be a sequel. Like today, we're so like used to, oh, if this happened, it's most likely gonna be a second movie. But if this happened, it's most likely not gonna be a second movie. So I mean, might be
that was
as easy as that.
Yeah, that was probably not as common in like the early 80s. Now it's a bit of a cliche that he didn't really die. But back then,
exactly.
You know, there weren't a lot of endings like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I did like, as earlier mentioned, that he didn't die and just wandered off chanting, like going further and further into his own insanity.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I like
Yeah, well,
too.
he ventured further into the mine as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing
And
is,
I think that part was the old section of the mine as well. The section that didn't use anymore.
yeah, because they break this little thing covering the door. Don't go in or something.
Yeah.
And I mean, he pretty much breaks the roof so it falls down, closing himself into the old parts of the mine, and most likely a part of the mine where there's no way out.
Yeah. He pretended to be Harry and ended up suffering the same fate as him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this
Not really.
time, pretty much on his own, rather than having, what
An
do you call?
accident.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Yeah.
I've actually never thought about these things before.
Makes you think, huh?
Yeah, well, I've always, I've always seen this movie just as a straight up slasher movie, and that's about it. But yeah, there are some deeper meanings to it, I guess.
Yeah, well, movies has deeper meanings, but that also depends on who you are talking to.
It's
Okay,
not that deep of a meaning, just
Yeah.
But do go on.
I got one last thing to speak about
Mm?
before we venture into background, and that I mentioned it earlier about this being one of the most well-known slashers. 1981 is considered by many slasher fans to be the golden year of the slasher. We got movies like The Burning, Friday the 13th Part 2, The Prowler, My Bloody Valentine, and possibly more movies that I can't remember right now.
Wasn't one of the Halloween movies released the same year? Was that year after?
Yeah, I think it was 1981.
Yeah, because I believe Halloween 1 was released 80, and...
No, 78.
78. Yeah. Then
Yeah, you're correct. You're correct.
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
1981. Halloween 2 came out in 1981.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
Compared to like the other movies that is like maybe well known for people that aren't as into horror at all. Like they may have heard of the other kind of movies rather.
Yeah, they have heard of the big names, but maybe not My Bloody Valentine.
Yeah, and the deeper you get, the more you see, I guess.
Yeah, the deeper you dig, the better movies you might find.
Yeah.
Or shittier.
Like The Bleeder.
Yeah. That's a
I'm not gonna
that's
let
a
that
prime
go.
example.
Yeah.
Anyways, continue.
Yeah. I don't have much more to say about that.
You had something from the New Yorker.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're going into background. Okay. I was searching for something entirely else when I stumbled upon a review of My Bloody Valentine, which was published in the New York Times in February 1981. And it's written by a Mr. Tom Buckley. And it goes like this. My Bloody Valentine probably won't make you shiver with fright, but it's almost certain to make you squirm. First with irritation and then with revulsion. Just when it seemed that quickie horror movies had touched bottom, this Canadian production, which opened yesterday at Louvre State 1, I don't know how to pronounce that, but and other theaters, drops the level of shoddy exploitation another 2,000 feet or so. The measurement is quite literal, because most of it takes place in a mine. As the film begins, the village of Valentine Bluffs overlooking the Atlantic Ocean in what looks like Newfoundland is about to resume its old custom of having a St. Valentine's Day dance after a lapse of 20 years. Don't do it, warns the bartender at the local tavern. But if such warnings weren't disregarded, where would the makers of horror pictures be? The ugliness of what follows, a murderer who cuts out the hearts of his numerous victims, is intensified by the absence of the least vestige of talent on the part of anyone concerned with the film. Scarcely surprising, considering that none of the main people involved: George Mihalka, the director, Jan Baird, the writer, and the leads. Paul Kellman, Laurie Hallier, and Neil Affleck seems to have had significant professional experience. Two of the producers, John Dunning and Andre Link, were responsible for Meatballs, which was nearly as tasteless in a rather different way. Movies like My Bloody Valentine are usually distributed by obscure companies with one-room offices, but the culprit here is Paramount Pictures, which might have been expected to put limits on what it would do for money. And what other franchise has Paramount Pictures pushed out during the 80s? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a question, Johnson.
Yeah, it was a question to you guys.
I'm not that well versed in the history of horror.
I
Do
think
have
they
any
made
clue?
a lot of one. Halloween, I think. I think there's a lot more.
No,
I don't know.
no, not Halloween.
Friday.
Yes. They put out the 8 first Friday movies.
Yeah, I'm not that well read into stuff like that. Besides Bloom Productions, I think they're called.
Blumhouse.
Yeah, exactly. I'm very, very familiar with them, but besides them, I don't really know of any other production company, I believe it's called.
Yeah.
Well, that was a harsh review.
Yeah. What do you guys think about that review?
Sucks.
Yeah.
Why is he watching horror movies if he doesn't even like them?
Yeah, I think back in the day, a lot of people were opinionated with anything horror themed, regardless of them actually having either watched the context or read it. They just bashed on it regardless, and such.
The thing with the reviewers who wrote these reviews in bigger papers, the thing with them was that they basically fucking hated the slasher movies, and they were pretty upset that those type of movies brought in so much money when they were released, especially the Friday the 13th series.
Yeah, they kind of want to try and at least try to what's it called? Pretty much drag the horror genre into the mud.
No, the thing was that they didn't mind horror movies. It was just that they didn't like slasher movies.
Well,
they
that's what I mean.
Okay. Well, they basically saw slasher movies like a step up from porn, basically.
Yeah.
They kind of had the same idea of action movies too. It wasn't as harsh as slasher movies, but they definitely didn't like them.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's probably because of all the violence.
Yeah.
Wasn't it during the 80s they had this big thing about that slasher movies in general was bad for children and whatnot?
I think they also thought that violent movies promoted violence in general. I thought that it increased the crime and murder rate, which they had which they never had any proof of, even if they just claimed it all the time. And I
Yeah.
think that like slasher and such genres has like a history of being shitted on like a ton,
Yeah.
even mostly by people that doesn't like the genre at all, and just
Yeah, you're actually correct about that, because a lot of horror fans that doesn't like slasher movies look down upon them like they're just trash.
Yeah.
Like-
Which I think is pretty dumb.
yeah. At least people that are interested in a genre has like real, what I would say, reason to dislike it. They have like, I didn't like it because of like all of different reasons that doesn't come to the conclusion because it is this genre.
Yeah, they
Simply
have
because-
an actual opinion of the movie, much rather than the people who just dislikes the genre in general.
Yeah.
Like when we watch a movie together, you can say, I don't like this movie because, okay, bad acting or bad effects or bad storyline, while these
Yeah.
people are like, oh, it's a slasher movie, okay, I don't like it.
Yeah, like
Wait, what?
you
Oh.
you may be like, the kills to me were boring and non-creative, while they will be like, so much violence. You.
Exactly.
It's the work of the devil.
Yeah. Like, violence and porn were basically the same thing. Like, I think like they had a term for like it that connected the two.
Satanism.
Like, or at least they have it in Sweden. Våldsporr. Porr.
What was it called?
Like
violent
porno.
I-
Sort of.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Våldsporr. What I remember of it.
Yeah.
Is there any trivia to mention or anything else?
Since this is a very well-known movie and there are shit ton of background out there, I haven't really picked up anything besides that review.
Okay.
So, does anyone else have anything?
No.
Nope.
I don't have anything either.
Well, so if you're interested in trivia about the movie, go to Google and search for yourself. We're gonna be that boring today.
We're gonna be that bitch.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be that bitch.
Okay, you guys want to wrap things up, or do you have anything else to say?
I've said what I thought.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Alright. So, the next pick will be mine. And I've been thinking a lot about what I'm gonna pick. And I actually have struggled a little bit with the choice of my pick. So, I went back and checked our back catalog with episodes, and I was thinking, what haven't we covered yet? And I decided that we will go into deep space and travel back to 1979 with Ridley Scott's Alien.
Nice.
Ooh, what a good choice.
Excellent.
For once.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
All
This
right.
pleases me.
Okay, and we're gonna play out with John McDermott, The Ballad of Harry Warden. And let's say goodbye to the good people.
Goodbye, good people.
Goodbye, good people.
До свидания.
Bye bye.
Once upon a time, on a sad Valentine, in a place known as Mine, a legend began. Every woman and man would always remember the time, and those who remained were never the same. You could see the fear in their eyes. Once every year, as the 14th draws near, there's a hush all over the town. Oh, the legend they say on a Valentine's Day is a curse that'll live on, and no one will know as the years come and go of the horror from long time ago. In this little town, when the 14th comes round, there's a silence and fear in the air. Remember the morn that the legend was born, all the shock and the horror was there. Or the legend they say on a Valentine's Day is a curse that'll live on, and no one will know as the years come and go of the horror from long time ago. And no one will know as the years come and go of the horror from long time ago.